Welcome back, good to see you. Here is our beautiful, smells really good too. This is the weekly coffee I get from Wednesdays of Wisdom. Lovely to see you. Catherine is here. First thing we spoke about was the frustrating inability for me to be in a relationship, and especially with a woman closer to my age. And the doc asked me why, and I explained to him that the social complexity that are in every single woman's life that I've ever dated who is older than 23, and especially towards 30 and above, is beyond my ability to process, well beyond. And it is completely underestimated, not even seen by the woman, because when they look at me, they're seeing an adult. But what they don't get is that that part of my brain is really like a child. And so I end up sitting in a corner because there are too many people. They already have nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles. They're much more cynical about life. They've seen it all. They either have their own children or they have experience with children, to the point where they have a very strong social network structure and you have to sort of immerse yourself within it. And that's something I don't know how to do at all. And people talk about things that make no sense. I don't know how to respond. So too many people are asking me questions. I get freaked out if there's someone behind me who's going to attack me. All these weird things, I guess, that are consistent with what, child not understanding a room of adults. And that is exactly me. So I tend to regress to maybe the corner of the room and either read a book or only speak when spoken to. There is something that happens in every relationship I've ever been in at that point. That is a turning point for the worse. And what happens is that the woman I'm with never sees me the same way after that. They start to see a child. And so they start treating me as such. And they really do become, unintentionally, because I really have the utmost of respect for 99% of women I've ever dated. Like, I really do think they had beautiful hearts and are intelligent and they really tried. But they would start to adjust their behavior because they started to see the child that I am in that part of my brain. And that's very condescending for me, and it's very difficult to then maintain the relationship because they start to slightly become like my mother. And here is the key thing that I've never picked up before with any psychiatrist except this guy. My mother, when I was growing up, was not around very much because she was highly ambitious. Now, as an adult, I completely get that, because she was told that as a woman she couldn't achieve anything except by her father, who supported her. And so she decided to become not only the best and most successful woman, but the most successful person in her field. And she did. And mad respect to her. I love someone who's an immigrant, who had kids, who rose up and is now dominating the business world in Australia and has more awards than most men in her field. But as a child, I thought my mother hated me. Because as a child, when you come home and your mum's not there, because she's always out on business meetings and stuff, as a child you develop this idea that she's not there because of you. It's called basically correlation versus causation. We all do that as humans, we just think we don't, but as kids we definitely do that. When it's raining, it's because we're sad. We completely think the world is about us. And that feeling is so entrenched in the deep recesses of my subconscious that as soon as I start to see my mother in the relationships with the women, I then become scared that they're going to leave me in the way my mother neglected the child version of me, and there is my fear of commitment. That was a huge breakthrough today. Let's bring back the chats. Oh my god, huge, yeah. And I thought I had to share that with you guys. It was interesting, huh? It's an interesting hypothesis, right? It's the only thing that comes close to making sense.
It's a officer. Love me, make me smoke it. Love me, make me smoke it. Condemn a ganja man. They see me when the trees at speed. If you know man a ganja man.